Spring football's back, y'all, and let's talk about what's going to happen here this spring, what we're looking for. I'm saying there are three basic things that you're going to want to watch out for this spring at Georgia with their spring football practices, which start Tuesday in Athens. We'll have everything for you ready to roll. Make sure you're going to dogpost.com, etc. It's a really exciting time to be a Georgia fan, that's for sure. But for the players and Kirby and all them, excuse me, there's been a lot of transition. Um, but all that said, these are the three things I think, and we're going to go in order that we're going to be watching for this spring. And if you think I'm wrong or you want to chime in, let me know. I think the number one thing I'm going to be watching for is the construction of the offensive line because no more players play on the offensive line than any other position. It's a critical position for Georgia and everybody else in college football. You got to figure out who your left tackle is going to be, and once you do that, I think a lot of things fall into line. You've got a new offensive line coach and Stacey Searles. You've got a lot of returning players. Cedric Van Pran is your starting center that lets you set your line. You've got the return of Tate Ratledge. I'm assuming the return of Tate Ratledge. You've got Marius Mims. You've got it's just got a lot of guys that you can put in there. Trust McClendon can be at right guard, excuse me, right tackle. Where does Broderick Jones fit in? What about Marius Mims? What about Fairchild? Does he get the ability to do anything? How about Willock? Where are we at with younger players on the offensive line? And who will play really who will play on the left side of Georgia's offensive line is really an important decision, I think, to be made. Your left tackle is so critical. We saw Broderick Jones playing left tackle in the important moments of the game against Alabama. You can pick up DAWGSTRUCTION by clicking down below. And in the final drive of that game, Broderick was at left tackle, and Jamari had slid in to play. I hope I said left tackle. Broderick was playing left tackle, and Jamari was in at left guard. And when they hit this play, and then the Brock play and all of that, that's when you had Broderick at left tackle and Jamari at left guard. That means for sure you're going to have to replace left guard. I mean, is that Warren Erickson? Does he come in and play? He got replaced in that game, if I'm not mistaken. So there's going to be some real development on that left side. It seems to me the right side should be steadier in terms of where you're going with things. So Warren McClendon at right guard, and then in theory Tate Ratledge at right. I said Warren at left guard. I meant right guard. Warren McClendon's going to play right tackle, and then the question is at right guard who's going to be there and will it be Tate from the get go? We'll see. So you see, there are a lot of moving parts for Georgia on that front. Secondly, and this is always something that you watch, what's going on with the backup quarterbacks? Again, I say you're returning a starting quarterback who started and was the MVP of your playoff run and in the national championship game. Okay, so Stetson Bennett's back for his 6 year college football. Let me just mention this real quick about Stetson and company. There's a link. There's a link down below for this. It's a pretty good opportunity if you want to see 7 guys and you get stuff like DAWGSTRUCTION signed. There's an event in Gwinnett County, which is right near all of y'all, on the 26th and 27th. It features James Cook, Jordan Davis, Devonte Wyatt, Nakobe, Stetson, Brock Bowers, and Jalen Carter. Those are consequential players in Georgia's national championship run. You can get tickets for that event. It's right down below. It's at Sugarloaf Parkway in Lawrenceville at the Gwinnett County Fairgrounds on the 26th and 27th. So that's coming up pretty quick. Don't miss out on this. Back to Stetson. You know that you've got Stetson Bennett as a starting quarterback, right? Yeah. Well, the problem with that is you've got every year, save I think one or two at Georgia, you've had the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season not finish the season as a starting quarterback. 2016, 2017, 2020, and 2021. That's a lot. I mean, that's 4 and 6 years. That's a lot. Excuse me, that's a lot. So who is the most likely to make a jump? I don't know. I think the least likely is Gunnar Stockton. I mean, that goes without saying. But now you have a real fight on your hands, in theory, between Carson Beck, who had a superb spring 2020, and Brock Vandagriff, who, I mean, from what I have gathered, had a learning experience in 2021, and had to, hey, it happens. Figure out how to play college football. It's just what it is. So, what those two were doing when no one was watching is really important. I mean, if Brock Vandagriff is going to be a starting quarterback at Georgia or somewhere else, he's got to be more consistent. If Carson Beck is going to be a starter at Georgia or somewhere else, he's got to take what he did in 2021 and amplify that throughout the rest of the year and take advantage of opportunities. So I think that spot, those two guys specifically, are going to be something I'm watching. And then I'm not projecting anything at all. I'm not trying to. But something Mark Rick said to me, combined with a lot of the stuff that I've seen from Gunnar Stockton, makes me very curious to see what it will be like when we see him in person at Georgia. Because accuracy is something it's really hard to, how do you put this, replace or develop. If a quarterback is inaccurate, they are not useful. So it doesn't matter about the other stuff. And then finally, for me, number three, is there a championship hangover on this program? We've not had a back to back national champion in 10 years in college football. And before that, it was about 10 years. And before that, it was about 10 years. It's hard to pull off a back to back national championship. We knew LSU would not do that coming into 2020. And there turned out to be a pretty good chance that Alabama could do it in 2021. But, um, you know, Alabama has had multiple opportunities to lock this down from 15 into 16. They don't do it. Clemson doesn't do it at 16 to 17, both times losing to the other. Same case in 18. LSU is never going to repeat. Can Georgia repeat? I think they can. I don't think they are destined to repeat by any way. And repeating is, again, the wrong way to put it. This is a completely different team with completely different schedule and a different situation that they're in. So this moment in time is really critical. The first practice and so forth in spring, and then of course the first practice going into the fall. If you don't do it now, though, you're so far behind by the time you get to the fall, you can't recover. It's too late. It's too late. You got to do it the moment you're supposed to, which starts in January and builds up to now. So, of course, Georgia was playing halfway into January with winning the national championship, but you know this team is in its own situation, and they are going to have to win their own championship this year. Back to back is, and it looked like Alabama could have won it three times in a row in 11, 12, and 13. Let's not forget, though, that in both those seasons in 11 and 12, they lost games. They lost SEC games. And obviously in 11 to LSU at home in overtime. They did not get a chance to play for the SEC championship, and then a season later losing to Texas A&M and Johnny Manziel. They go on to beat Georgia for the national championship in Atlanta in 2012. Yeah, you heard me correctly. So But this team, will there be a hangover? Will they be looking to figure out and make certain what size their ring is? Stuff like that. There's still a lot to be gained right now for Georgia, and we're going to see if they do it. Hey, make sure you check out that event now, all right? The 26th and 27th. I know the vast majority of this audience is in the Atlanta area. It's not exclusively to Atlanta, but if you want to see James Cook, Jordan Davis, Devonte Wyatt, Nakobe Dean, Stetson Bennett, Brock Bowers, and Jalen Carter, those are some heavy hitters from this national championship team. Think about this. When's the next time you're going to see all these guys in a 2-day period? The answer is probably in 20 years when they have a reunion for the 21 national championship team. Take advantage of this right now today. Hey, we'll see you over on the website. Thanks for watching.